Season 11 of MFL kicks off in a few days, and we've been in the process of getting Royal Livy Rovers prepared for what I believe will be an unbeaten season in the Ice Division. And here we can see the rewards for each division, meaning that when I do win the league unbeaten, I will get 6,000 MFL as my spoils, which can go a long way in getting some good players from the MFL pack store. But we are also having a dual focus on the Aspirants Cup this season. Usually I just focus on the league and slightly ignore the cup to some extent, but that's not worked out for me in past seasons, as I've ended up doing terribly in both the league and the cup, which is not optimal. It's less than ideal. So this season we're going to put our tactical MFL head forward and attempt to make some headway in both competitions, with 10,500 MFL up for grabs for the winner in the lowest tier of cup. Now that would be quite an incredible haul if we somehow managed to take it home. So we registered the club ready for action. Okay, well, it turns out we don't actually have enough players under contract, so that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Just kidding, guys. All we need to do is head over to my HQ and secure my top players for the season, who will make up the main part of my team. Now, these are some infamous names associated with Royal Livy Rovers, and they're joining the ranks once more. That includes the blistering pace of Conway at 74 rated. Raymondo Shaw, who is an under-the-radar hero of this team, he's rated 73, as well as other strong players for the Ice Division, such as Holden, Cook, Wright and Nicholson. And hopefully the other teams will be holding those L's when we start to cook. Wright, Son, Nicholson. No, okay, that's enough of that. I'll stop that. Well, we're massively behind. After now successfully registering the team for Season 11, we can set them in formation for the coming campaign, and it's a strong lineup in a 4-3-3 formation that I'm so sure is going to get me the league title unbeaten. I won't go into detail here with the individual and team instructions, but if you want to see this incredible tactic I've set up for Season 11, do check out my MFL Tactics video in the description down below, where I'm attempting to replicate Pep Guardiola's famous and successful 4-3-3 formation, which surely will translate into MFL glory, right? Right? I mean, time will tell. Now, the thing is, when looking at my squad by player position, straight away we can see I'm short of a backup left back to cover for Holden, and with the formation being heavily reliant on centre midfielders, we could also do with another strong option there to beef up the team and allow us to compete on all fronts. And this is where the loan market comes into play. Typically, I run a homegrown UK-only squad because I'm xenophobic. I can't put that in the video, crazy. I'm of course kidding. I just like to keep my MFL club sort of as a homegrown only challenge, but with loanies I allow myself to venture into greater territories to expand our scope and improve our team with efficiency. You know, we still want to keep the costs down here, and we can do this by limiting the revenue share percentage we give to the team of the loan player, setting this at a cap of 2% for our left back scouting. And immediately Ferreira caught my eye at a 1.5% fee, but if we traverse our eyes to the right, we can see he needs to play 17 games minimum, or we risk paying a further 5% on top of that if he fails to achieve that appearance quota, with 22 league games and a guaranteed 6 games extra in the cup, with potential for further if we make it to the advanced stages of the cup. You know, it would certainly be doable to hit that 17 game target, but I don't want to have to force certain players into my lineup and handcuff myself essentially just to achieve these minimum appearance quotas. I've also clocked Ferreira has a fairly low defending attribute compared to his peers at a similar level, so Ferreira is out of the running as my backup left back, and we've put a minimum rating of 60 on the defense attribute in the filters for our further searches. And on this new search, a player who's immediately caught my eye as an option is Cabezas, if I'm saying that right. And, you know, despite retiring soon, he has 74 pace and 65 dribbling, which will certainly help suit our box-to-box fullback playstyle with our Pep Guardiola 4-3-3 tactic, and that's combined with having no minimum appearance quota set on him, so it sort of makes him almost a perfect fit for our club here as a lone player. So we'll dilly-dally no further. We've made the offer and we've secured Cabezas to a season-long loan, but we're not done just yet, of course. We're still wanting to add a centre midfielder to the team as well as a key part of our season, meaning I'm happy to up the revenue share a bit here and pay more so in the ballpark of a 3% fee for this type of player if I have to. And with available players coming in at around 65 rated, that makes all of them certainly at a suitable ability to fight for a spot in the starting 11. And I've settled on adding Drahomir Broz to the team. One reason being that his name is really fun to say, Drahomir Broz. Try it, you'll like it. But also because his stats are pretty well rounded across the board, making him a decent backup option to fill in anywhere across the midfield three, you know, catering to different individual player instructions. This is including a 0% loan fee down, by the way, so I'm paying them nothing for the honour of having Drahimir Broz in my team, and I'm not even really fussed if I end up having to pay the 3% fee if he doesn't quite make 18 appearances, as that's sort of what I was looking at paying anyway. So Drahimir Broz, welcome to the team, straight into the starting 11, chaperoned by Stringer in goal and captained by Hooper up top, meaning our remaining players in the HQ are to be sent to development gel for a varying amount of seasons, utilising the free development centre passes that I've won over the winter events that MFL ran. And speaking of the winter events, just because they're over doesn't mean it's too late to join the game. MFL was great fun year round, with a current promo offer available on signing up where you get a free limited pack once you buy your club, that pack containing a guaranteed common and limited player, but with potential for more, as there are draw odds that you could pack an uncommon, rare, or even a legendary player to kickstart your MFL career. And we have to thank MFL as sponsors of the channel, and if you're looking to join, you can do so using my MFL referral code in the description down below, where upon spending $25 on packs, you'll receive another common player. Wow, isn't that all super neat? And I'll look forward to seeing you out there on the MFL streets. That rhymed, didn't mean it, we're sticking with it. Game's the game, rhyme's the rhyme, time's the time. Look at that. Shut up, man, what are you saying? And to say we had a great start to the season would be an understatement. Talisman Conway utilising the high trigger press tactic to slot the Lord and Saviour Stefan Hooper through on goal, with the outcome inevitable, and no less than 5 minutes later for the use of our aggressive fullbacks who had a high tendency to go on the offensive. Derek Cook, our right back, doubled the lead. We did unfortunately get caught out for a sweaty goal in the second half, but overall a comfortable 4-1 victory in front of the home fans to start the campaign, so no complaints there. The second game of the season then, however, was not plain sailing, and perhaps a drawback of our tiki-taka playstyle means we are more susceptible to getting caught out at the back, which is exactly what happened here when Wright played the ball across his own box, which is like one of the first things they teach you in football never to do. 20 years ago, there would be no chance of that. What has Pep Guardiola done to the beautiful game of soccer? But then the other side of the MFL coin was in full effect in the second half, when a lovely passing move out from the back led to the Lord and Saviour doing what the Lord and Saviour does, netting his second goal of the game to complete the comeback. We did then concede again, however, to draw the score level once more only a few minutes later after a mazy run from Bergerson before he beat Stringer in net with a tidy placed finish. We weren't going to settle for a draw, however, and after Holden turned over the ball high into the opposition's half, again that advanced trigger press coming up golden, Hooper managed to pull off a shot which deflected into the goal. A last minute winner, you love to see it, to preserve the early 100% win record in the league. Our third game of the season then, however, was kind of insane. At 1-1 going into the halftime whistle, Holden went full steam into the Jade Peacock's fullback. Well, already on a yellow card, you can't do that, and you can see what happened next. He received the reddest of cards, and now just getting a point from this match would be a massive result, let alone if we could somehow win. But these lads don't know the definition of the word quit, and they never say never. They will die for Royal Livy Rovers, and Skinner, utilising his decent passing attribute and high tendency to cross, puts a loaded ball into the mixer, with Shaw running in as an option to lace the ball into the back of the net. And I have to say, I was really proud of this goal as a manager. The reason being, this was quite literally a goal and a tactic I was looking to exploit this season on MFL. The difference then comes from Skinner here on the right wing being set to cross more often. One reason being that Skinner himself has an impressive passing attribute when you consider his overall rating. But another key reason is due to the previous attacking tendencies we set on our midfield number 8. We've got Shaw with strong attacking inhibitions on the left side, meaning he'll run into the box and join the attack as an option alongside the fullback when Skinner is perhaps thinking about crossing from the other side of the pitch. So, you know, that's an extra man to aim for. That could be all of the difference when a cross goes flying in. To our despair, however, we conceded with 10 minutes left to make this 2-2, which is perhaps unsurprising when you consider that 1, we have a red card, but 2, look at Jade Peacock's overall player ratings in their team. I didn't clock this originally, but their lowest rated player is 68, with a 75 rated goalkeeper and a 73 rated striker up top, who smashed the post from only 10 yards out. These final minutes of the game were clearly going to be squeaky bum time with our backs up against the wall. Again, Jade Peacock's creating another massive chance that they blasted wide of the mark, surviving by the skin of our teeth here, if teeth even have skin, that is. I'm pretty sure they're like made up solely of enamel and shit, but you know, the expression is the expression. I didn't make it up, I'm just repeating what I heard, okay? And here in injury time, the opposing team were set to come forward again when Loney signing Broz showed his worth winning possession in the middle of the park. And after 2 quick passes, Stefan Hooper found himself through and goal, and the pressure did not get to the Lord and Saviour. We somehow have gone 3-2 up, having scored every single shot on target that we've had. You know, now that's what I call clinical right there. And with 5 seconds left of the match, Jade Peacocks had their final chance to level it, but Stringer in net came through with a massive hand to tip the ball over the bar, and we managed to come out as 3-2 victors against all odds. I don't know how we did it, but we did. Up the Royal Livy Rovers. Woo! Go team, go sports, go soccer. And I really have no idea how we won this. They were all over us and a man up for most of the game with a much higher average overall rating, but the MFL gods work in mysterious ways. And I think we have to give a massive shout out to the PEP 433 tactic for another victory here, which meant after 3 games we found ourselves top of the table with a 100% win record. Things couldn't really be going any better, but we did have to pay attention to Suen, the WAN runners in 4th place, who had 2 wins from 2 and a 12-0 goal difference. They could certainly be our biggest challengers for the title here, and you can find out how we get on in the coming weeks by liking and subscribing, and I'll catch you next time because I love you.